So as you can see, I've been watching this video for the past 1 hour and 14 minutes with no distraction. And I hope that shows you that I'm really trying to work hard on understanding why I can't work for 12 hours a day. And if you've been following this channel for any time longer than 60 days, you've probably noticed that it has been a struggle of mine to be consistent with the work that I need doing, to completely remove distractions from my life. And if you've been watching the channel for a long time, there are some people that I know that have been watching the channel, and some people that I don't know, complete strangers. If you've been watching the channel, you probably think that I am a failure because I've been trying to work on this thing for such a long time, and I haven't been able to do it. And I even have videos where I said this would be the last time. This is the last fucking time that I will wonder what I will do in the next 6 months. And there's also a recent video where I said I will remove all distractions for the next 2 years, which I am still working on. And I don't believe you can just do that from in one day or in 24 hours. It's a process of continual removal of the things that distract you. Because I mean, think about it. I've been conditioning my brain and myself for consistent or constant stimulation for many years, and I want to undo that in 48 hours. I just don't see it really being possible. It's like when you want to lose weight. You've probably been trying to lose weight for, let's say, 2 3 weeks, and it's not really as fast as you want. If you do it really fast, then you tend to crash. But if we look at it, like if you're trying to remove an extra 10 or 20 pounds off of your body weight, it probably took you like a solid 4 to 12 months to put it on. So, like, why do you expect it to be removed in 2 weeks? It just doesn't make sense. At least give it as long as it took you to put it on. I'm not saying it's going to take me as long as 5 6 10 years. um I mean, for example, like watching videos before I sleep, that's something I've been doing since I was like 11 12. I'm gonna be 23 in 2 days. um but I think it's not something that you just do from one day to the other. And so, to get into the point, I've been really like having lots of conversations with ChatGPT to understand what is it that makes me not work those many hours, or what makes me not work the 10 hours that I promised myself to work yesterday. And I think I found the solution to that, or not the solution, but I found the answer. And the answer is, and I've been repeating it, and I'm going to say it again: we need to be reminded more than we need to be uh, taught. It's like, think about it. When you're not doing focus, what are you doing? You're doing distraction. So by definition, if you want to achieve focus, just don't do distraction. Because at that point, you're either going to be working or you're going to be staring at a wall. Staring at a wall is extremely boring. Nobody wants to do that. So you'll probably default to work. And so I've been trying to detect or spot the distractions in my life, but I think I've been doing it wrong. It's not about spotting the distractions because I know what they are. I know it's like watching YouTube videos, and I know it's fake productivity, like watching Hermosi videos, or it's going to Instagram to check a leads Instagram page and then ending up watching stories or scrolling reels. I know it's that. I know it's allowing myself 1 to 2 hours in the morning to just wander the internet. But it doesn't really solve the problem because, like, knowledge of the things that prevent you from knowledge of the bad thing is not enough to solve the issue. And so I've been trying to think about it a little bit deeper, and with a long conversation with ChatGPT, and also with ChatGPT having a lot of data on me because I have very long conversations with it, it was able to detect the real problem. It was able to detect the root cause, and it's really shameful for me to share it, but it's just me being emotional. It's just me acting on my emotions. And I've been identifying with, I've identified as a stoic person for a long time. And it is true in many circumstances in my life where when something doesn't go right, when something is not the way that I want, I tend to be stoic about it. And it's usually with the big things in my life, such as, let's say, a breakup or things not going my way, some family problems, delivery being later than it should have been, let's say, like stuff like that, where I'm like, all right, fuck it, whatever. What am I going to do? I don't care. But with work, when I'm sitting in front of my desk and I start to get urges to, I get a little bit bored. So then I get the urge to do something else. And I get a little bit tired. So I get the urge to just, fuck off and scroll on Instagram. I tend to act on those feelings. And by definition, I wasn't being stoic. So the solution to that is to just register those feelings and those urges as data points. It's a one or it's a zero. And that's it. Nothing else. And I gave it a try yesterday and it really, really, really worked well. So I was working on building some SOPs for my CSM. And I had little moments where I was like, ah, fuck, this is boring. And usually, what I would do is when I would feel like, let's say, I'd get one, two, three urges in a row, I'll just be like, yeah, whatever, fuck it. I'm just gonna scroll a little bit, and then I get back to work. But yesterday, I was like, okay, I'm bored, got it, and then back to work. And I got it again. I was like, boredom, okay, back to work. And I got it again, and I was kind of feeling a little bit foggy. I felt like I was almost going to get sick, and I was like, okay. Anyways, step 11. And it like when you completely remove when I completely removed the possibility of negotiation with myself, I just found it extremely easy to focus and extremely easy to just ignore it because I'm not using any willpower. I'm not draining any of my willpower because we only have a finite like storage of willpower every single day. And for some, the storage is way higher than others, but that's a discussion for another day, not to get into any tangents here. But if you don't use the willpower, then you're going to actually have it for the big things. Or at least you are going to make it last longer than it would have been by using all of it for every single urge. And I want to show you something here, which is I've been tracking my urges. Um, I've been tracking my urges as of like 3 hours ago or 2 hours ago, and these are all the urges. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 urges in the span of 3 hours or in the span of 2 hours. That's quite a lot. And imagine if I used willpower for every single one of them, I'd probably drain half of it by now, and it's only 2 2 2 2:30 p.m. And so when I thought about that, I was like, it all makes sense because that's exactly what made me relapse every single time I promised myself not to indulge or not to partake in a bad habit or to stick to my goals or my habit goals. It's it's because I allow negotiations with myself. It's because I open the window to negotiate. And apparently, there are some studies that have been done in that field where if you allow negotiation, you always start from a premise or the reason why you start negotiation is because you want to partake in that negative behavior, in that behavior that you're trying to avoid. And so you're already starting in a biased position. All the arguments that you're going to generate after that are going to be biased towards doing the action that you don't want to do. It's like we always find a reason to do so, whether it is with food or with porn or with scrolling or whatever it may be for you. We always find a good reason to do it. And then we regret it later saying, oh, fuck, I was just stupid. But what if you don't even allow the negotiation to happen? What if the urge is just registered in your brain as an urge, as a data point? Okay, my brain is telling me that I want to eat pasta right now. All right, cool. Um, what's the ad strategy for my client? Yeah, so we were saying, and then you go back to it. Or if you are at the gym and you don't feel like doing the last two sets, you're like, oh, my brain is telling me not to do the last two sets. That's interesting. Okay, 12 kgs, where are they? And then you go back to it. I think that is going to be what's going to help me achieve the high levels of focus for consistent periods of time. And also, another thing that really helps with that is meditation. I think the reason why I was able to successfully do it yesterday is because I am in day 14 or 13 of meditation right now. And I've been meditating for the past 2 years, 3 years, on and off. I have about 52 hours of practice. And always around the 10-day point, 12-day point, I start to develop some sort of a filter between the action, between taking the action, between, sorry, feeling the thing and taking the action, or feeling the urge and taking the action. And basically, what it's called decentralizing, I think, or it has actually a name. Let me check it out real quick. So it's called decentering or cognitive diffusion, which is basically noticing that you are noticing. And so you just start to notice stuff as like data points. It's no longer a thing that you have to act on. You no longer identify with the emotion, or you no longer, it's like you develop a filter between thinking and doing the thing. And so that gives you like enough time to not even enter uh, the negotiation stage. And I wanted to share that with you guys. The reason being is, you know, that saying where that goes, the bigger the monster, or the bigger the monster, the bigger the hero, or the bigger the monster, the bigger the hero, the bigger the story, something like that. And I've always really felt ashamed to record a video talking about how I'm gonna change my life, turn it around, stop all the bad habits, and then 3 weeks later finding myself doing them. But after thinking about it, I was like, if I keep on documenting this from like every single day or every single week, and I document my failures and I also document my findings, then by the point that I will find the solution, because I know I will find the solution by someday, and I think I found it. I genuinely do. It will be a great story. It will be the story of someone that was not able to focus for longer than 2 weeks, that was not able to drop the bad habits, that was not able to do the things that he set out to accomplish or achieve the goals that he set out to accomplish, to someone who consistently does it on easy mode, or at least that found a solution to it. I think that would be a great story.